Hey everybody, Derek Brown here of BEATBoX SAX. Today we are going to talk about playing below the lowest note of the saxophone. You may not have thought that was possible. I didn't think that was possible until I heard Colin Stetson, an amazing saxophonist, play a solo where he was playing the alto and then he got these really low notes. It sounded like a bari sax, and I thought he must have switched horns. But I did a little research on it, and I found out about this idea called Tartini tones, or combination tones. And that's the idea of when you have two notes being sounded at certain intervals, you can create the auditory illusion, meaning it's not actually being sounded except in your eardrum. You create the auditory illusion of a note being sounded below. I use this in my second music video, Every Breath You Take, that I did. And I had some people asking about how I got that note. It's the last note of the video. If you haven't seen it, you can click on that here. The very last note of the video, I hit a low C sharp, but I do this Tartini tone effect to where it sounds like it's maybe being sounded an octave below, or it kind of sounds like a bari sax playing it. So Tartini tones, basically there's a whole bunch of intervals that can be sounded that create these lower notes. The one I'm going to focus on that I think is the most practical, particularly for the tenor sax, and particularly for males, just because of the range of our voices. Maybe females on alto could work better. You'll just have to experiment with your own horn and your own voice. So how are these done? Basically, I'm going to be fingering lower notes on the horn while singing into the horn a perfect fifth above. And it has to be pretty exact. So you need to do some ear training if you're not too good at finding perfect fifths. This is something that I've heard trombone players do as well, where they sing into the horn. It's picked up pretty well, actually better than a sax. And if you listen closely, you can hear this extra lower tone being sounded. So, for instance, I'm going to start with a C, or concert B flat, and C on the tenor. And I'm actually going to subtone it. I found that doing subtones helps kind of bring out that third pitch even more. So I'm going to subtone a C. And I'm going to sing a perfect fifth above. La, la, so, do, so, ooh. And I'm going to kind of sing / hum through the horn, basically as loud as I can, trying to get equal to that sound. Now you're going to hear those two pitches, the C and the G, but if you listen closely, you will hear a tone an octave below the C sounding. And the crazy thing is it's not actually being picked up by the recording equipment. It's just those two tones, and in your ear, you hear that just because of the science of waves and the makings of our inner eardrum. Pretty crazy stuff. But let me check. Let me play it for you. See if you can hear. So I'm going to sing the C. Sorry, I'm going to play the C. Then I'm going to hum that G above, and then you'll hear that lower tone. So here, see if you can hear this. Do you hear that low, bassy sound? Kind of sounds like a bari sax. So once again, there's 3 tones in there. Or if I just sing at the same time. Now I can move it around as long as I stay a perfect fifth above the note. So if I go parallel fifths above, if I go C to B flat, I can sing a G to an F, and it has that sound as well. And I'll just keep going up. Here's playing normal. Now singing the Tartini tone. So I think it's pretty cool. Maybe not extremely applicable to a lot of things, but if you're just a tenor player and you just want to just get some bassier tones, I think it can be a cool thing to try out. It does take a lot of work just to get the feel of how much you need to sing versus playing and doing that subtoning. Another thing is the lowest notes on the sax work great, especially if you can sing lower. However, I find that when I get up to kind of a G and an A, even if I can sing those pitches, it just doesn't sound quite as bassy. down low, which is too bad because that's how we would be able to connect the octave. So I'm still messing around with this, but hopefully you can have fun with it. If you want to look more into this, Google Tartini tones or combination tones, because there's different intervals, like an octave and a third produces 2 octaves below. Check it out, really cool stuff. So in the meantime, I'll see you guys next Tuesday, and happy practicing. See ya.